Any artist that is in pursuit of a career is facing fear, obsessive self-judgment, overthinking, mental and emotional barriers. My name is Luther Mallory. This is the State of the Artist podcast. State of the Artist podcast. Still the pandemic, so we got to talk about shit that is really bothering artists. I'm going to give you 3 ways to stop overthinking. It's more than bothering artists. So overthinking is the number one thing I'm ever asked about. How do I stop overthinking? It's a human problem, overthinking. It's not just a pandemic problem, and it is a crisis for Earth and for artists, overthinking. So I want to give you 3 ways to sort of handle it and a way to look at it so that it makes sense. So the first thing to identify here is that there is a difference between your thoughts and what's happening on Earth in the real world. Those are 2 spaces, right? There's your thinking, and then there's what's happening outside. There's the internal world and the external world. And if you wanted to get really deep, it's the same thing, but for the sake of this, we have to identify that your overthinking is happening in here in the judgment center in your brain, and the external world is happening completely separately from that. Doesn't matter if you're thinking or not. It's going on without you. The tides will continue to come in, whether or not you are thinking on a couch for 4 hours about zombies. That's going to happen. So there's those 2 spaces. And the thinking space, the internal space, I like to call running the projector, because it's like you're always running a movie. You're having a conversation, but you're thinking of 18 things, so you're not really there in the real world with that person. You know, you're in a relationship, but you're criticizing this and judging this. You're not really there with that person. You know, you're playing with your dog, but you're thinking about carrots. You're not really there. You're running the projector. Always a movie, always something to be recreated, rethought of. This could be better. This could be like this. Running the projector. So first, it's important about that to say it is a gift that you're able to think this well and this deeply. It's a gift. It's amazing that you could be this creative, that you could always be inventing shit. It's just a very dangerous space long term. So we don't want to be overthinking that much. Okay, so the 3 ways. Way the first. I lived at my dad's house a number of years ago for a while after I got really kicked out of my life in a weird way. Like I had no band all of a sudden, no girlfriend, job, money, anything. And I landed at my dad's house and I went, whoa, shit, what the fuck? And that really hard kick in the face made me reevaluate some shit. And I realized first thing that there were these 2 spaces. And I realized that I was running the projector 100% of the time. For years, thinking 100% of the time. And I finally became aware of the other space. Oh, there's this shit that's happening in the real world. And I'm taking part of it, but I'm always thinking during it. So I'm never really there. And so the first thing that I did after identifying that there were these 2 spaces, internal and external, is I started to come up with ways to get out on purpose. Come external on purpose. And how did I decide to do that? I went, okay, the internal world is up here in my brain, in the judgment center. It's all thoughts. So the external world must be in the body. It must just be happening here. The body energy rather than the mind energy. So how do I get out of the mind energy? Okay, so I would wake up in the morning and I would see the lamp on the table and I would spend 5 minutes with this lamp in the sense that I would get up and I go, that's a lamp. There's nothing to rewrite about it, recreate about it. It is a lamp in the real world. And I'm seeing it, a physical sense, one of my senses, seeing, and I'm feeling it. And I'm not judging it. I'm not coming up here to go, you know what would be great? Or that somebody put that together in a shitty way, or I can see some glue here, or this would be better in this color. No, I'm just experiencing the lamp from the body energy, the 5 senses, and not allowing myself to stay in in the internal world running the projector, redesigning this lamp because it's not important. And the lamp doesn't give a shit, nor will it change. So I identified the spaces, and then I went, body energy is the place to go to experience the external world, where mind energy is the thing I'm falling for right now. That's what's creating the thoughts. That's why I'm running the projector, because I'm stuck in my mind. Let's get into the body. So the first way to do it is to engage body energy, the 5 senses. When you find that you're running the projector, go, wait a second, there's this other space, the senses, not the thoughts, but the senses. Weigh the second exercise. So if an artist comes up to me after a seminar or something and asks one question, and I have a sentence to spend with them, and they go, how do I get out of my own brain? Exercise is absolutely the one sentence that I'm going to choose, because exercise is the process of training yourself to be in the body instead of the mind. In fact, more than that, to defeat the mind energy with the body on purpose. Excuse me. So if you're doing 30 push-ups and you get to push-up number 25 and your brain kicks on and goes, this is very uncomfortable and I hate it, we should stop. And you're able to go, no, we're not going to stop. We're going to continue and we're going to get to 30. And then you get to 30 push-ups. What happens is this very interesting thing where your mind energy shrinks a little bit because your brain's like, wait a second, I made a suggestion and you don't care? And your body's like, no, I don't care. And your brain goes, oh, well, shit, I don't have as much power as I thought. And the mind energy shrinks a little bit as the body energy comes up a little bit. You gain a little bit of confidence there. And what happens in 12 or 15 minutes of a workout, if you're pushing your body, is the brain shrinks more and more and more as you make sure that it doesn't get what it wants, which is to quit and find comfort, and the body comes up. And then at some point it goes, boop, and the body becomes the dominant energy. You've invigorated the body so much so that the mind is shrunken smaller than the body. And that's why when you get to the end of a workout, you actually feel confident. You feel sort of in charge of your life because you defeated this judgment thing, this mind energy, and the body is ruling. And you're living in the external world now. You're just existing there with not so much brain coming in going, what the fuck are you doing? Criticizing the shit out of you. So exercise is the process of invigorating the body to take over the mind on purpose. And you can use that by next time you feel like you are running the projector, go, oh, you know what? If I threw down 10 squats right now or 10 push-ups or some jumping jacks or something, I could gain body energy and I could shrink mind energy. If you can find that energy, that's how you can do it. Exercise. Way the third, meditation. Meditation is the process of training your mind to be singularly focused on what you want rather than it being in charge and thinking about flamingos and zippers and zombies and giraffes and pasta. Like, your brain is going to go to those places. Meditation is the process of going, no, we're not doing that. We're focusing on one thing in the body. That's why people that teach meditation always say, focus on the breath, because the breath is the root of your life. It's the only important thing, right? That's the root thing, and it's in the body. Paying attention to the breath would be you paying attention to the external world in the sense that it's just you breathing. It's the senses. It's not the internal judgment center. It's the senses. So you do something like a candle flame meditation, and you light a candle and you watch the flame, and you're in the body looking at the flame, using the senses to look at the flame, and there it is. And you don't judge it. And so there it is. And you come up into the brain all of a sudden, and you think about donkeys and leather, and you think about sunshine, and you go, oh, yeah, no, I'm not supposed to be there. And you come back to the flame, the body energy. And it's this dance between the mind energy and the body energy. The master skill of meditation is not shutting off your thinking, because you're a thinking human being. You're going to think. The master skill of meditation is realizing that you've started to run the projector and then gently telling yourself, oh, that's fine, but let me come back to the candle flame. Let me come back to the body energy. It's the process of training your mind to go, no, that's okay, but we don't want to think right now. We want to feel, we want to be in the body energy, we want to be in the external world, and gently coming back. One of the deep problems with artists that are overthinking is the berating and shitting on yourself that you do when you zone out. And you go, fuck, I just wasted so much time thinking about candelabras. And you go, oh, okay. But you can't get yourself in shit for that because it's your gift. So let's do this. Breathe right now and pay attention to it. Follow your breath in the body. So don't think about breathing, but breathe and focus there. Feel it. As I finish this podcast episode, stay there. Listen to me as a very secondary thing that's happening, but try to stay there to get a sense of this meditative state. It's very dangerous to be getting yourself in shit for thinking when you're an overthinking, overanalyzing artist and you're going, I shouldn't be that way. I hate it. I don't want to be in my head anymore. First of all, identify that it is a gift for you to be able to think about thoughts so well, so deeply, and create from that space. Use your brain that powerfully is a gift. It's just out of control, and you need to control it. The danger, keep breathing. The danger in running the projector 100% of the time is that nothing moves forward and progresses in real life in that space. It's a great space for creativity, for ideas, for considering things. But you have a duty to pull it out of your brain and put it on paper, bring it over here, and then start to build those things in the real external world where time happens and progress happens. You need to build things to move your life forward. If you can get out of your mind by using the body in these ways we're talking about, in that space, the external world is where you can fix relationships, you can fix your money problems, you can save your family from this dysfunction. You can eat healthily and consider those things. You can play with your dog without zoning out and build a real relationship there. You can move your career forward because you will send emails from that space, and you will network with other human beings from that space, and you will finish songs and pieces from that space. All of these things happen in the real external world. Where the lamp is sitting, that's where those things happen. If you're running the projector, it can be, keep breathing, it can be that 2 years from now you wake up and you go, nothing has happened for me. Why? Because you're living firmly in Neverland, in your own head, staring at your reflection in a pond, dancing with crickets in a field, in the internal judgment center, mind energy world, and you need a way to come out. Identify the space, come into the senses, exercise to practice body energy and invigorate, meditate to train your mind to singularly focus on what you want. It's all about moving from the mind energy to the body energy. And that's where success is going to happen. Use your brain, your big, powerful, beautiful brain. Use it, but manage it. You have to manage it so you can be one of the artists who does what you want and affects people in this world. Don't lose yourself to your mind. State of the Artist Podcast.